So is it one term or two term?
As for me, it is 2 term.
One term or two term?
One term. I check on the report form. In it, by the end of the term, we have a report form and we take.
William Ruto says that if there is no country for William Ruto, then there is no country for you.
Yes.
Is this a statement of war, William Ruto?
It is a statement of war against the impunity.
The force of Generation Alpha and Generation Z is explosive. It is a high time this government can come, listen to the people.
A leader must do anything possible to safeguard his or her position of power, even if it means doing something that might seem ruthless or distasteful.
The ID of those people and the voters card of those people who are on the streets, that you are ruthless on them. They will also give the same energy of being ruthless with you on the ballot. We believe Gen Z is leaderless, Gen Z is mannerless, but they have one theme. They only have one theme.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eugene Kwach, and tonight we continue with yet our conversation on deciphering on Kenyan politics, governance, and the economy, amongst other current affairs issues. Well, tonight I'm joined with two gentlemen. The first gentleman is called Umoja Julius, who is a Wiper youth leader, joining us for this conversation. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us for this conversation. We also have Vincent Juma, who is a TikTok sensation and political influencer. He is a public awareness creator. Thank you so much for joining us also for this conversation. But at the heart of all this conversation, there is a critical question that takes center stage of our conversation tonight. And that is the question of what do the youth really want? And permit me to just begin with you, Umoja Julius, from where you're coming from, being a Wiper youth leader and understanding quite the nuances of the political landscape as it is currently. Permit me to ask you, what do the youth really want?
Thank you very much for that noble question. You know, the youths in Kenya, they have got diverse issues, and these diverse issues currently, we judge them based on the manifesto which the current regime laid. So we judge the government based on the manifesto which they laid, and are they really implementing them? So this some of these things that the youths want are the secure education. And in terms of the secure education, you find that the education system currently in Kenya, it has been having a lot of hiccups because they changed the new university or funding model. If you are doing nursing, for example, or any other medical course, you need to pay 600,000 as compared to the last regime. If you are doing any other course, you are required to pay between 100 or 200 to 600,000, of which if you compare the current earning system or the economic status of the country, it is very difficult to raise that amount of fee and pay for a student per academic year. That is the first thing. Secondly, the issues of the unemployment is very high, in that this government, it found existing some of the opportunities or some of the programs which were being undertaken. These programs, they included the Kazi Mtaani. You find that this government, once it had realized that youths were coming out on the ground that the rate of unemployment was very high, they brought back what we call the Kazi Mtaani. Thirdly, you find that the abuse of human rights and the police brutality was becoming very rampant in the country, because a lot of youths, they are being arrested, they are being detained, and others, they don't come back when they're alive. We have got instant cases that we've experienced, like the case of Ojwang. We've also experienced the case of the Bridget. Bridget, I think she will be buried tomorrow at Kiambu Nuberi and will be in a position to attend, be with the family. So those are some of the issues which are pinching the youth. The youth are pinched based on the high cost of living which is ongoing in the country. Last year, they were pinched by the cost of living, which was very high. Okay. And they went to the demonstration in the street. When that one was left, then what came after is the police brutality and abuse of the human rights, which is ongoing up to now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Umoja Julius, of course, his opening remarks on what the youth really want. And of course, I understand that there's a lot of weighty issues that he has talked about. And permit me, even as I'll give you a chance also to maybe enumerate what the Kenyan youth really want from the government and what they really expect from the government. Permit me to also take you to the bottom-up economic agenda, which there were 5 major issues. Of course, we understand that there are the 7 critical things that the government mentioned to do, but of course we have 5. That was on MSMEs, on agriculture, we had digital economy, we also had housing, and we also had, if I'm not wrong, which one else did you have?
We have economics, we have health,
Yes.
we have
Yes,
SMEs.
Of course, health.
Yeah, job creation.
So permit me to ask you, of all these things actually that the government had promised to do, where are we as we speak?
Yes, currently, sincerely speaking, we are at a positive step. But this answer is based on who you're asking. Because, you know, as youths, we have problems. But we have to recognize that our problems are bigger than the problem of the nation, right? And for us as youths, there's a word on the street called kutoka block. That is a very big challenge for the youths, you see, right now. And among these things, the issue of unemployment is a very big issue. But we have to understand that the government is not a job-generating agency. We as youths, we need to come up with a principle or a technique on how we can create a certain ways of generating finances. Currently, you are running this podcast. It is true that you did not get the advice from the government that you need to start doing something. So the creativity is something that is very important. On the issues of employment or job creation as it was laid by the government during the manifesto launch, employment was one of them. And as we speak today, there was the Kazi Mtaani program, which was there before, and it was taken out, and currently it has been replaced with another one called Climate Works. The Kazi Mtaani program employed around 50,000 youths. As we speak today, the Climate Works has employed 110,000 youths. So which means on the issue of unemployment, the government is on a right track to solving a good percentage of it.
Is it a sustainable employment?
It is sustainable. It is sustainable because the government is having a long time, or a long-term rather, framework for it. So there are many job creation avenues that the government has created. Yes. Not only the Climate Works, we have the job creation at the housing, which currently has employed up to 350,000 youths. That is directly. And we also have the indirect one, like the suppliers, which is something like 100,000. Yeah.
So if he says that the government is not generating, because you've said that the government is not a job-generating agency.
Definitely.
But the people feel that the government should create a conducive environment for people, for businesses to thrive, and ultimately for jobs to be created. People feel that the government itself should actually give opportunities to the people in various capacities. And of course, as I've said, that there are opportunities that the government has created. And of course, people expect the government to create more. He's talked about the funding model, which is quite inconsistent with how the economic status of many people is, because so many people cannot afford, as he has rightly put. So are people right by saying the government is to blame?
People are partially right, and people are partially not right at the same time, depending on how you are viewing it, the optical lens you are wearing. Because, number one, you have talked about the business creation environment, the conducive environment for doing business among the youths. It is true, and it is evident that, and it is also in the public domain, that since 2022, since the inception of the current regime, the government has created a conducive environment for businesses. Even if you saw the headline of the newspapers today, 420 companies or investors have streamed in Kenya, something that has never been seen before, meaning that the government has created a conducive environment for businesses and investors nationwide, right? On top of that, since 2022, 253,000 new businesses have been registered. the highest number of business registration since independence. What does that mean? It means that the government has created a conducive environment for business operations in Kenya, right? Yeah. 253,000 new businesses.
I think just on the same breath,
Yes.
I think I've stayed in Kenya since I was born, and we are seeing these things which are happening in the country. The government, however much the government is trying, but you see there are several ways through which we cannot claim that the government is fairly doing well. To begin, he cannot say that the government has tried to do the project of the housing to employ youths. Now, the Mukuru Kwanjenga project was launched the other day, meaning that it was complete. If it was complete, all the youths which were employed by that, all of them became jobless at that particular point. Even if it employed 100 youth at that point, after the launching of that project, all those youth became unemployed. Meaning that, let them do something that is sustainable, something that is a long term. Something that's a long term means that when you empower somebody through education, this person can be in a position now to employ himself later on. But the moment you've taken the rate of education, you've taken the funding model has changed, their high level of students, they are middle class, they are low class. That one means that you're discriminating the level of education we have in this country. Secondly, we've seen the issues of the private, the public-private partnerships, whereby some of these industries like the Chemelil Sugar Company, the Sony Sugar Company, we've had new investors in place to go and at least take or lease those particular companies for around 30 years. You saw Chemelil was leased for 30 years and so on and so forth. Meaning that those people, you saw people crying and demonstrating in those companies. All those who were employed, all of them lost the job. All of them lost the job. The government should come. These demonstrations which are happening here, even if you give somebody a job, yes, you've been in a job for the construction which is happening. You're paid 500 shillings daily. 500 shillings daily. If you go to the house, unga, 2 kilograms. How much does it cost? Is it here? All that money it will go to unga. The following day it go to unga. There's nothing that you can come in a position and or save something that can help you because the high cost of living is too much. We are in this country. We've been in this country because the philosophy of this particular government was to uplift people. It was called the better. Bottom up. Yes. Bottom up. You are being uplifted from no zone to a zone that at least you feel that your living standard has particularly changed. That was the campaign, the philosophy model. Is it being implemented? It is not being implemented. Because if it was that was being implemented, we could have seen a lot of people. Because
the president said that when people cry about job, or rather unemployment, about food insecurity, and all these other issues, he mentioned that these issues have been here since independence. He is not the first president to actually... he actually did not come with these issues. He is trying his best. If you look at it, and he talks about, if you look at it with an objective lens, do you think that the president is doing enough from where you sit?
You see, even if these issues, if they have been there, we've seen these commodities, they have been there. Sugar, for example. During Kibaki's time, how much was sugar? 1 kg was 80 shillings. During Uhuru's time, it was 140 shillings. Right now, how much do you buy sugar 1 kg? The price has gone up. Even if the president is trying to do the best he cannot implement it alone. He cannot implement it alone. He has to implement with the executive. All the arms of the government, they must be there, except the judiciary, so that they can support, because the judiciary should be independent as much as possible. But the executive and the legislature, they should be there to support the agenda that the president has. That is why during the demonstration that we had, 2024 demonstration which was existing, people were demonstrating because there was high standard of living or high cost of living. Okay. And what are the remedies that people brought in? People brought the remedies that there were some cabinet secretaries that were not deemed fit to occupy those offices. There were some PSS who were not deemed fit to occupy those offices because these are the people that formulate the policies which are being implemented in day-to-day activities. You saw the major pinching bunch that was there was in the sector of the treasury. What did he do? He reshuffled and brought CS John Mbadi, who is there currently. CS John Mbadi he read the current budget that is supposed to take us through the financial year 2025-2026. Nobody can complain. The Gen Zs were not on the road because of the financial year budget. He really put in a way that at least is trying to lower, and also trying to lower the rate at which we borrow in different countries. So I think as he tries to do the best, accountability of these people that is working with the executive, he should always, at all costs, remind them that they are there for the sake of the common mwananchi. Yes.
So the people that work with the president could be a problem and a major challenge.
Because the people that run the government, the executive is a very critical organ of the government.
Okay, interesting. Let me come to you, sir, and particularly on the issue of housing. And because affordable housing is actually a cornerstone of the Kenya Kwanza government, that is the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and is explicitly recognized as a key economic driver alongside agriculture, MSMEs, healthcare, and the digital creative economy. Yet, it has actually had challenges because it has faced controversy with differing opinions, both from the proponents and the opponents. You've heard a bit how he talks about it, whether the jobs it creates is even sustainable.
Yeah.
This being a key driver of the economy, according to the better agenda. What are some of these issues that you think that are not right? Like people misunderstand about the housing project, and make them understand what it portends actually to the economy of Kenya as it stands.
First,
Because it has a lot of controversy. It even has a housing levy. So if it was a key economic driver, how is it impacting in our economy positively? Because it is creating unsustainable jobs, as he has rightly put it. We've also had housing levies, which is taking money away from the pocket of the employees. So how is it even impacting? Shouldn't we just do away with it?
yeah. First, about the job sustainability created by the government housing project. People are saying this is not sustainable. And I would like to ask, I'm a plumber. You are an electrician. He is an architecture. Where are you supposed to work? At the construction site, right? Which means it is sustainable. An architecture, a plumber, a painter, a welder, a steel fixer, a mason, they work at the construction sites. Which means when someone is an electrician or a plumber or a painter, this is his career for life, right? Which means he is going to work at this place for the rest of his life unless he changes profession. Which means this thing is sustainable. Number two, the FAQ, which people get me in the street each and every day about the housing project, is that concerning the housing levy. We are being deducted this money. And again, these houses are being sold to us. Is it not double sourcing money from us? That is the biggest question people ask in the street. And it is not that way. You know what people have not accepted is that housing levy is just a tax like any other. But the difference is it is a tax which is directed towards a specific purpose, which is construction. So people should live knowing that housing levy is a newly introduced tax, just like any other tax, but it is serving a specific purpose, right? That is what many people doesn't know. Another thing, somebody is asking, or many people have been asking, why can't we be given these houses for free now that we have been deducted, right? And these people are saying this thing out of, for lack of a better word, out of ignorance. Because if you are being deducted 1.5%, average Kenyans earn below 30,000, right? If I'm not wrong. Which means per month it is 300 shillings. Per year it is 3,000. In 10 years it is 30,000, right? The cost of constructing a single unit in Kenya ranges between 900,000 to 1 million, right? So for how long, if you were to do it at a personal level, will you collect this 300 per month to reach that target of 1 million for constructing a single unit? Number two, these houses, people tend not to know that cost. If you tell somebody that this house is costing 1.5 million, then somebody will ask you, now how is it affordable? How is Mama Mboga going to benefit? how is the boda guy or the mkokoteni guy going to afford the 1.5 million? Not considering the flexibility of payment that is embedded in that housing project. You know, in the private sector, the real estate, the cost of purchasing a one-bedroom apartment, depending on the location, ranges between 4 to 12 million, right? At a government housing project, this amount is only 1.5 million for 2-bedroom and 960,000 for a 1-bedroom, which means it is at a reduced cost and also at a favorable payment mode. That is what people are not understanding about this thing. Because when many people hear the word million, they say, now how is it affordable? But they are not considering the payment terms and the flexibility and the period of payments as compared to private sector. Yes.
Thank you so much.
How I'd wish he guide us on some of the requirements or the criteria which is being used to give out these houses. Because they're saying we have got 2-bedroom, we have got 1-bedroom, we have got bed seat and so on and so forth. How I'd wish that we are guided that what is the criteria for giving out these houses. Because some people are being taxed, and these people who are being taxed, they are on different level. If some people had made it in life, others are almost retiring, others are well off. They have their own apartment somewhere because they had house mortgage allowance and so on and so forth. So what is the criteria which is being used?
And actually also to add on this point on public participation, because it's very important for a country to involve the people, because it is their country. When they introduce maybe taxes like these ones, it's very important actually. And you saw what happened in 2023 when this was introduced. Yes, there was public participation, but there's a lot of questions and controversy around it, even after, of course, the court cases, so many of them. What do you make of so many controversies around housing levy? Don't you think that it's now time for the government to say, there's a lot of controversy, let us leave it and do what the people want?
Yeah. On that point, there's this thing called public participation. We were not consulted. Kenyans want to be consulted before something is done. That is the first enemy of development, public participation. Of late, I've been hearing Kenyans comparing our president and the president of Sahel, that is the Ibrahim Traore. They're usually saying, this guy is working, this guy is doing a lot, this guy is doing great, this guy is doing that and that. But they are not understanding that these two guys, our president and the president Sahel, Ibrahim Traore, they are operating in different environment. Traore wakes up, says, I want that road to be built, and it becomes a law. Their word is action, right? Whatever they say is action. Tomorrow it starts immediately. Today, our president wakes up and says, I want that road to be constructed. It will be a total mess. We were not consulted. So being consulted or public participation is number one enemy of progress. I want this project to be done. People come with an interdict. It goes to the parliament. It goes under some verification and ratifications. It is 2 years. It has not been done. People go to election. They vote you out. And then they say you lied. So this idea of public participation, to some extent, it derails development. Yeah.
Wow. Quite much interesting. We will come to...
You see, just on the same.
Yes.
You cannot shun the public participation. However,
Yes.
which project is being undertaken. For a country to move, there must be public participation. Recently, when we were having the approval of this finance bill of 2025-2026, without that public participation fact, people would have been in the streets. But being that it was open, people went, gave their minds, gave their opinions on everything that's supposed to be undertaken. That's why we are up today, this current financial bill. Secondly, all the developments which are happening in Kenya, we first undertake the public participation. Once the public participation is done, then they are being put in the budget. So that even if the budget is too high, they will come to you and tell you it is too high because whatever you wanted done in the year 2025, 2026 were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the budget to be low, we have to remove some of the development projects that you wanted to happen in your constituency, in your ward, or in your county. Public participation is a very key organ. However, it has got maybe advantage or disadvantages, but the advantages of public participation are many as compared to the disadvantages, and is a part and parcel of the Constitution of 2010 of Kenya.
Okay, thank you so much. Quite interesting, and I find it a bit controversial you saying that public participation, which is critical even in coming up with the new constitution that we have, you have termed it as a number one enemy of development. But that's a conversation for another time. I wish we had lawyers to get to dissect what it could really portend. But again, as you get to discuss what really the youth want, permit me to start with you in asking this question. Because you are a youth leader, Wiper Party youth leader. And the Wiper Party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, has oftentimes supported this Gen Z revolt. But even as we have many opposing figures actually supporting the Gen Z demos and so on and so forth, we have a challenge a bit. Because even as the Gen Z continue to clash with the government, there are a lot of things actually in line. And that is property. A lot of property actually have been damaged. And so many livelihood actually have been on the line as a consequence. Because when supermarkets are being looted and all these things happen, all these wars, because you understand that during that time, no one can be able to access even the CBT. But the major question is here, is that for how long will the Gen Z continue to protest? Is there something that can be done or that the youth are coming up with to ensure that there is an agreement between the youth and the government? And of course, in respect to what Wiper believes as a Wiper party member, youth leader.
You know, this I'm so worried because currently we talk about the Generation Z, the Gen Z. And in the next few years, this force of Gen Z will combine with the Generation Y, who are actually behind
Alpha.
the Generation Alpha. So a force of Generation Alpha and Generation Z is explosive. It is a high time this government can come, listen to the people. Listening to the people, you saw what happened when Kasmuel Makure, the people who are Gen Zs and were also on the front leading the Gen Zs, they were poached. So that right now they run the philosophy or the agenda of the government, which is a very total shan to the Gen Zs. Because we believe Gen Z is leaderless, Gen Z is mannerless, but they have one theme. They only have one theme.
Gen Z is mannerless.
Gen Z is mannerless. And some of them are, how can I put it? Some of them, they truly know what they want. Out of the demonstration, the reason why I say some of them are mannerless. If you've gone for the demonstration so that the government can be in a position or to listen to you, at least behave like you've gone for demonstration. It should be peaceful. That's what the Constitution allows, a peaceful demonstration, but not going there to loot the property of the people. That one I don't accept that one totally. If you've gone there, go there, because we have got only 3 ways through which the government can listen to us, our petitions. You can take it through the legislation, of which the legislation nowadays dance the tune of the government. So what do? You go for the demonstration, a peaceful demonstration.
But for how long? Because we are asking, yes, we ought to go for peaceful demonstrations. But we have heard quite a number of times that there are goons within those people actually who are protesting. So what do we need to do as citizens who are with manners to ensure that we continue? Because we wish to grow our economy. We do not wish to, in as much as we are crying that the government is not doing what it ought to do, but we do not want to have a country that is completely disintegrated and with a more worse economy than it is. So what ought we to do so that we can have an agreement between government and the people?
One, this government should borrow notes from what President Kibaki did. President Kibaki, he was there with my party leader, Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka, and they served the country without any demonstration. They should borrow notes from what that government did. And there were a lot of developments, and we can see a lot of developments which were done by the late President Moi Kibaki. Secondly, this government should embrace more of dialogue with these youths.
So
The government should embrace a lot of dialogue with these youth, with the youth.
how?
This is how it should happen. One, before this budget is done, there should be a dialogue, because whatever is catalyzing the activities which are ongoing now is the economic status of the country. Previously, if you had 1,000 shilling and you go to Shivling supermarket, the list would have been longer. Right now, if you go with 1,000 to supermarket, you'll only take 2 packets of unga, you're done. Which means that where are we headed as the country? And in fact, youth, once you are from the university, you start facing the life. The government should increase what we call these opportunities, the internship opportunities. And what next after the internship opportunities? Because once you are done with the internship opportunity for 1 year, you go and sit down. What next?
So let's stick to what is happening currently.
Yes.
And because we've talked about what the government can actually do, but at the moment, we need to stop the demonstrations, a lot of them, because we need to continue building the economy. What can we do immediately so that the government can come and agree to agreeable terms with the youth, with the Gen Z?
First, police brutality must stop. Even if you commit or if you go against the law, let you be picked, you be taken to court, and your charges are subjected there. But not a case. You also had another lady 2 days ago who also died in a police station. These are the things that are pinching people. Two, these police officers, they are the people who are catalyzing a lot of things. They should act in the most disciplined way. Then their role in the demonstration is to guide and protect those who are demonstrating. But the moment they also start attacking those who are demonstrating, it brings a lot of chaos during the demonstration.
Okay, so what do you make of all these situations, the demonstrations against the government by the Gen Z?
I would love to ask, what is a 25-year-old person blaming the government for? A very big question. I think a 25-year-old person, in case he was still going to school, he has just walked off of campus. Yes. What is it that the government has failed that particular person in doing? Because I think a 25-year-old person has just voted maybe once. What is it that he's blaming the government for? And yet his life is just starting. He's talking about police brutality, which is something very critical, and it should come to an end. We don't like it. Everybody doesn't like it. Okay. During demonstrations, police should guide the demonstrators, but guiding them to where? If demonstrators are saying, we are heading directly to State House, what should the police do? Should they continue guiding them? Number two, what sparks these kerfuffles during demonstrations? We find that there's a shooting and so on and so on. It's because of the nature of the conduct of people who are demonstrating. If you could interview or ask maybe 5 out of 10 demonstrators, you will realize that at least only 1 knows why he's demonstrating. 4 doesn't know. There's one who is just coming there because today is demonstration day. There's someone there. There's someone I know personally who told me that tomorrow is Mandamano, I'll come there and snatch those your phones. He told me in the face. Those are part of demonstrators. But as he has just said it, the looting is something that is very critical. And that is now what sparks these police behaviors during demonstration. Because how can you see someone is breaking into someone's shop, someone is setting someone's shop ablaze, and you are just there guiding this person? What could you do? And remember, you cannot arrest a mob. Yeah. And what we must also accept as Kenyans is that there are instances under police code where they are allowed to shoot. There are codes. They are not in the public domain, but within their framework, within their scope of work, there are circumstances where they are allowed. Number one, when protecting life and property, police is allowed to shoot. When preventing a criminal from escaping, police is allowed to shoot. When defending himself, police is allowed to shoot, and so many other factors. But these are small penal codes within the police force or the police service, which we are not aware of them, as the public.
Okay.
So maybe someone got shot during a demonstration because of maybe looting or breaking into someone's shop. That one is permitted under police code.
Okay.
But just a broad daylight shoot on someone who's just innocent, now that is a brutality. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask this question. Because this Mandamano, when they began last year, we saw the protests were across the country. This year, we've witnessed something quite peculiar, because some countries, some counties, which have been known to be volatile religions, actually, for Mandamano. Anytime there's Mandamano, they're among the people, you could see them, and they make headlines a lot of times. Such places are like Nyanza regions, which were not involved in the Mandamano. And something that we've heard people, and even the leaders have said, is that these Mandamanos have become tribal. They are tribal revolts. We've seen some leaders of the Luo saying, this is not our war. This is the Kikuyu war. We've seen Kikuyus and some leaders like the Gachagua saying, Kikuyus have been targeted. Permit me to ask, what is the real situation? Could there be some underlying issues beyond what we could see with our eyes as Kenyans? Some other ulterior motives and agenda, or people that are trying to make this demonstration a tribal war? Or is it really a genuine people who are trying to fend for themselves, who really want to be heard? What is the stance?
This demonstration currently, if you compare the magnitude of the demonstration, there were ranks. I saw they were being ranked as per the count in the year 2024. Kisumu led, followed by Migori, and so on and so forth. This demonstration of 2025, Kisumu is the last. Migori is also the last. There, CI is the last. This demonstration, this political instability is caused by, because if you go to Homa Bay currently, the president has invested. He has given the youths there. A lot of projects are ongoing there. The youths have harvested on some of the job opportunities, and a lot of developments are seen in those areas. So the youth from those areas, they have been kept busy. They have something to attend to. They are so busy. Even with the placards that they put, we are so busy, we are attending to the government jobs. We have nothing to, or we have no time to go for Mandamano. Happens in Migori, it happens in Homa Bay, it happens in Siaya, it happens in Kisumu. I'm asking him, what if the government does all these things in the entire 47 counties? Who will go for that Mandamano? Nobody. We've seen erection of a lot of ICT hubs. In Homa Bay, a lot of them, youths are so busy creating a lot of things, they are becoming so digital. What if the same thing is taken in Kinangop constituency, is taken in Tegania East, is taken in Makueni, is taken in Kitui, is taken in Mavoko, is taken in all parts of the country? Nobody will go for that Mandamano. Then secondly, I also agree at some point that those people who are going for Mandamano in Nairobi, which is the, we call it the mother of demonstrations in the country, others, they don't know that there's something that is ongoing. Then they just join the magnitude, they yell inside there, then they go, they don't know that is Mandamano that they are going for. They just find themselves in the magnitude. This Mandamano that is ongoing in Nairobi, I want to confirm here that it is not triggered by any politician. These are people who are pinched. They have nothing to do. They are pinched by the current living status. They are pinched by high level of poverty and unemployment in the country. And they are also pinched by the brutality, which is ongoing. Because you find the recent person to die was Boniface Kariuki. We also have Bridget, who died. Boniface Kariuki, he has said that this government or the police is guided on where to shoot and who to shoot. And he has explained. I want to ask him, if somebody is selling mask, is that a guide to shoot? Number one. Number two, if somebody has not gone for demonstration, is that a guide to shoot? Bridget, Kiambu. the lady that you are marrying tomorrow, a 12-year-old, did not attend Bandamano, was in the house watching the television, was shot. Is that a guide? So these things that people will not go for someone who was shot genuinely on the streets. But someone who was shot as a result of the brutality, these are the things that are pinching people. Because all these things, they happen in Nairobi. A lot of shootings are happening in Nairobi. And maybe one or two which I saw happen in Makueni and so on. But most of them are happening in Nairobi. If shoots are moderated on how they are done in Nairobi City County, there will be no problem. And the demonstrations will be very, very minimal.
Yes. Let me come to you, sir.
Yes.
The government says these demonstrations are tribal revolts.
Yeah.
He says, and so many people believe that the government is doing wrong. And that is why there is these revolts everywhere. What is the stance?
What is that one wrong thing the government is doing that should be pointed out that it deserves a revolt? That is the biggest question. Number two, the demonstrations that are being going on around, and you have quoted that there are some leaders from some regions who are saying this is not our war, which means these leaders understand that this is a war triggered by a section of some leaders, right? You know, the demonstrators, rather the Gen Z, they're saying we are mannerless, we are leaderless, we are tribeless, we are faceless, and so many other less. Number one,
And mannerless.
and mannerless, yeah, but though they have not stated that, they are mainly dwelling on the leaderless and partyless and tribaless and any other less according to them or according to us, yeah, because I'm also Gen Z. But when the head of state said, now let's come and look at the possible solution, you have demonstrated, I've seen it and I've heard it, now come, we talk. Why was it turned down? We said we cannot talk because we are leaderless. And as per the codes of engagement, you cannot negotiate with a mob, which means your problems are still going to stay, which means you are not ready for your problem to be solved. Because otherwise, for a problem to be solved or for people to come to an agreement, rest assured, each and every participating party must compromise its interest. Even if you go to buy something from the shop and we say, I'm selling this thing at 100, me a year 50 shilling. No, bring it to 70. No, bring it to 80. Each and every one of you must compromise your interest for the sake of agreement. And if you say, let's talk, and then someone says, no, we cannot talk because we are leaderless, which means this problem is going to stay as long as you are still staying. So that is one of the biggest problems that we as youths, we are doing. We are not ready for our problem to be solved. Because negotiation is done around the table. Yeah. No negotiation can be done on the street. That is the biggest challenge.
So this is a
How should it be done around the table? Who should be on the table?
Who should be?
Who should be on the table?
Yeah.
Who and who and who and who?
So when I call you for a negotiation and you are saying you are leaderless, who am I going to talk to? Remember, I cannot talk to you as a mob. Who is going to respond? You need to have someone who is holding your opinion in trust, whom can say, we, this and this and this and this is what we want and this is how we want it. Yes, me also I wanted like this, so that we can talk and agree and meet the favorable terms to end it. But as long as we are still not going to talk, as long as we're still going to say that we are leaderless, this problem is going to continue staying. Yeah.
Okay. Raila Odinga, the former Prime Minister of Kenya, has proposed what is known as intergenerational national conclave. And that was on July 7th, during the address at the Serena Hotel in Nairobi that marked the 35th anniversary of the Saba Saba protests. The conclave is envisioned as a forum to bring together diverse voices, and that is the youth, the political leaders, the civil society, religious institutions, and the private sector, to address long-standing grievances around governance, economic hardship, corruption, and police brutality. These are some of the issues that we have mentioned that are affecting the people. And he has talked and he said that it is time for people to talk. It is time for the youth to talk, for the all these parties to talk, for the government and the people to talk, including other various, including political leaders. He's talked about civil society, religious leaders, all the stakeholders. Permit me to ask you, what do you think of this conclave? Isn't it an opportunity for now the youth to sit down and other stakeholders to come to a common ground with the government?
You see, whatever is happening also on the youth side, they are not organized. Then there's no structure. Because even if you meet somewhere in Nairobi, we expect that if it was a youthful or a youth meeting, the communication or the deliberation for that particular meeting should be devolved until someone who is in the most common unit village gets that communication. That is the first one. Number two, it is very prudent enough if all these stakeholders are brought together, then they can be in a position to bring their views on some of the areas that the government is doing bad, and the government should be in a position to correct. That one I really support. I really support. But you see, we also respect Raila so much, and he joined the government or to work hand in hand with the Kenya Kwanza government, so that some of the issues which were being raised in 2024, they could harmonize and bring peace to the country. Currently, there's no peace in the country. This is being triggered by some of the things that we are seeing, like the demonstrations that we are seeing in the country. Number two, we're also seeing some of the, apart from the demonstration, or how should the government come alongside this stakeholders meeting? Because the stakeholders meeting, religious leaders, not all of them will be called. That's the first thing. Number two, youth, not all of them will be called. You saw 2024 when the president came into X space to engage the youth on what was ongoing during that time. And after that, youths they raised their points, and someone taken into consideration. And the president acted on them. Why don't he implement the same thing? What is it? Because the X space, because he cannot call all youths in Kenya for a physical meeting. That one will not happen. The president, as fast as possible, should engage on the X space. X space. If not on X space, then there should be a delegation of the youth meeting at the county level. From county level, these reports are contained at regional level. Like, for example, if I talk of Migori, Migori County, they have their report. Homa Bay County, they have their report. Kisumu County, then at a region, they bring their reports together and they harmonize. So that all these deliberations should be brought to the president on action, not to be sat on. On action. On these are the deliberations of what the youths want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how should they be done? And this one should happen before the finance bill is passed. Because once the finance bill is passed, there's nothing that can be implemented if it was not in the budget.
So does it mean all these deliberations that the government is asking, all these conversations the government is asking, it means the government do not understand what it's doing?
Actually, my worry is this demonstration which was happening in Kitui, somewhere in Mwingi there. Somebody from Mwingi, if he's not called for this deliberation on the table, there's nowhere his or her views will reach the government. Because at the long of the day, this is the government that is serving us. And we have to be patient for the 5 years. After 5 years, is a wananchi kuamua. They will decide whether to still re-elect this government or they have another option that can come and succeed. But if it is an X space, I don't think that all youths are also digital. Let them be organized at county level and have a report at county level.
Okay.
With the county leadership. And also representative of the state.
So about this conclave, do you think it's something that the government should go on with?
It is something that is workable if those deliberation of the recommendations will be brought on the table and they are implemented. But how will they be implemented if some of these deliberations which should be brought on the table are not captured in the budget that is already running for 2025, 2026? It will be so difficult.
Okay. There's a lot of questions, actually. There's a lot of questions. And so many people are asking. The NADCO report was not implemented, has not been implemented. There are questions around conversations. Raila has been talking with every president. He talked with Moi, he talked with Kibaki, he talked with Uhuru, he talked with Ruto. And I get it that he also talked with Kenyatta, if I'm not wrong. Raila continues to talk, but some of these things are not implemented. This conclave, is it worth it?
It is worth it, but it is less impactful. Because according to the organization of that conclave, it is supposed to be made up of 40 people from 47 different countries, counties I mean, and then 50% of them are supposed to be youth, a half, the remaining 25%, people of the middle age, the remaining, the people of the higher age. That is how it is supposed to be organized. But what is the criteria of selecting these 40 people, which means each person from each county? That is the biggest challenge. So you find that this conclave, it is very important on paper, right? But it is going to be less impactful practically, because this person who is going to be picked from maybe Nairobi County, Kisumu County, and what and so on, and all those countries, is he holding in trust the opinion of the youths of the entire counties? And if yes, has he garnered the opinions of the particular youth of those counties? And if not, is just going there on his personal opinion, then that conclave is doomed, as per what I feel. So it is less impactful. And number two, we Kenyans, we are living in theory. There is how a nation is run on paper, and there's how a nation is run practically. So this is where we get the point wrong, because we want to have the nation run as per the paper. And when you step into power, you find that it is totally a different thing. That's why somebody says, if you elect me, I'm going to do this. And when that person gets there, he doesn't do that, because he realized that this thing is not the way it is being said on the ground. Here at the practical part of governance, things are totally different. No matter how we collect all these reports, the final say is with the person who is heading the government, right? Governance is not easy, because a nation cannot be led by Tom, Dick, and Harry. We are 50 million Kenyans, and let's say 10 million youths have given their opinion on how they're supposed to be guided. Each and every person has given a different opinion. Which one is going to be used? And if you pick opinions of the two, the remaining are going to say that we have been frustrated. This government has failed us. And maybe when a presentation or when a conclusion of a conclave or a discussion is presented, remember there's also another committee doing further analysis. Which one is right? Which one is practicable? Which one is applicable as per the codes of the operation of the country? So we are still living in denial that there's a difference in terms of governance on paper and the practical. So most of the time we blame these politicians that you lied to us, you are supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this. And yet practically, if you understand how power is being done, this thing does not go like that.
You just said that these conversations are
less impactful.
Yeah. Actually, in your own words, you have tried to show that conversing with Kenyans or conversing with citizens is not good enough. You think, because you've given an example of Ibrahim Traore
Yeah.
and other, if I could say, is Ibrahim a dictator? Because that will look like a dictatorship. And we have a constitution as the people of Kenya.
Yeah.
If all this is less impactful, why would you then support a conclave?
I support it, that it is right. But the impact it has is not that much that can be felt across the country.
What then can be done, or how can then the conclave be made more impactful?
The conclave can be made more impactful. I support his opinion of saying at the regional levels, right? Because at the regional level, we have a vast coverage of the youth's opinion, as compared to this, the national intergenerational conclave, where one person is going to be selected. Rest assured, if you are coming from county 002, there's one person who is going to come from that country, from that county, I mean. I'm sure you don't even know that person. You have never even heard of him. And even if even your friends from your circle, even your entire village doesn't know that person, you will only hear that there's one person who was elected from Kitui County to go and represent us at the National Intergenerational Conclave. We don't even know that person. Yes. So which means a lot of our opinions have not been covered in that conclave. So if it was done at the regional level, as he has said, then it will be something better. But in general terms, these conclaves and dialogues and so on, they are less impactful because each and every person comes with his own opinion. And a country cannot be guided or governed by opinion of several people, right? All these, our presentations, at long last, only one is going to be picked. And these people whose opinions have not been picked, they are going to feel frustrated and they are going to term the government as a failed one. And in real sense, it has not failed. It is only that there is a difference between practicality and the theory which we believe in, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, I think this will be our last, one of our last questions, the second last question actually, as we come to the end of this conversation. It has been a great discourse. We have a lot of issues that are facing the country, and the youth have a lot of issues that they want to be actually looked into. And we've talked about many solutions, many ways through which we can come to solutions. And some of them is now the conclave that we're talking about. We've had the NADC report, and we have had also leaders who have said that, who have given themselves, said that they're the best people to actually lead. We have had several of them. We've had Raila Odinga in the past, and of course they're still there. We've had Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and Rigathi Gachagua, amongst very many leaders. As we head to the 2027, even as people chant Ruto must go and one term, which leader then is someone that Kenyans can actually really trust, and that is even prepared to take Kenya to the next level? And permit me to ask you that because he says that the practical bit of governance is a bit tough compared to how people really understand it on paper. So permit me to ask you from where you sit, who is prepared to take the generation Z to the next to the next level, maybe in leading this or governing the country? And what makes you think that they are more prepared?
One, I'm double sure, and I want to confirm here that my party leader, Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, is going to be the 6th president of this Republic of Kenya. Now, this one comes at a point where Gen Z also need him most, and we're also going to endorse him during the NDC, the National Delegate Conference, or the Congress of the party. We confront him to all parts of the country. But right now, we are telling him to go and look for the like-minded friends. Like-minded friends that are also in the view that this country, where it is going, it is the direction as the view of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is going to be the president of this Republic of Kenya. And I record this so that one time if I meet you.
What has Kalonzo done that assures that Kalonzo, given the opportunity, can actually lead Kenya to the next?
You see, in terms of governance, he has proved it because it is not his first time being in the government.
How?
He has served in different positions.
What has he done?
Yes, one, you see, for you to run this government, you must come from somewhere.
What has
Number
Kalonzo
one,
done?
if you compare the current president or even the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, he started from somewhere. So that you learn the tricks or you learn how to run the government. So Kalonzo Musyoka has done a lot, including right now, he has stood with the current Gen Zs who are injured, number one, during the protests. Number two, the Gen Zs who are shot dead in the current protests, including when he was in Muranga during the burial of Boniface Kariuki, who was injured. So he has been at the forefront, helping the Gen Zs or helping this country to know, or to, we call is in the united opposition.
Let me ask you, sir.
Kalonzo Musyoka has not joined the government.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
Because I've asked you simply, because Kenyans are trying to look at a person who can lead this country, and when you talk about a person who can lead this country, it is based on your track record. Kalonzo Musyoka has been a leader severally, and I've asked you simply to mention what Kalonzo Musyoka has done that will make me, maybe who does not really get to know who then I can vote for, what should make me to vote for Kalonzo Musyoka? And you've said one of the things is that he has stood with Gen Z who have been shot. And many Kenyans would really believe that that is not a reason why you should be elected president.
I was
What are
just
tangible
I was
things?
just
Yes.
giving that because that is the current pinching issue
Yes.
in the country.
So what
Number
has
one,
he done?
because
Yes. Mhm.
yes, because as we talk right now, whatever is pinching is the issue of the shot on the leg. That is the current status of the country. Second, if you look at the track records of Kalonzo Musyoka on all areas that he has served, including when he left as the former vice president, he was the 10th vice president of the Republic of Kenya. You saw what he did with Moi Kibaki. All the achievements that were done with Moi Kibaki, we also tag him along because he was part and parcel of that particular government. We saw a lot of developments. We saw a lot on the education setup. Education setup, they are the people that standardized, and there was free education at that particular point. He did a lot of road networks, including, he was not even checking where you come from. He was doing all road networks throughout. Thika Road is an example of what they did. The economy, and if you check at the GDP of the country at that particular time, we were very stable. Even our economic embargo at that particular point when he was the vice president, very stable.
Raila Odinga was also the prime minister.
What were the roles of the prime minister and what were the roles of all of them were in the executive? All of them were in the executive. So it was a ticket of Kibaki, Kalonzo. Kibaki, Kalonzo. If Kibaki was bad, Kalonzo also would have been bad. But all over in the history, we always compare all the presidents, all of them should resemble what Kibaki did, the late President Kibaki did. As we speak right now, all Kenyans are crying. They wish they could have been having a president like Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to lead them into the next generation.
Ruto was in that government.
As
Raila was in that government
As a minister.
as a minister.
Yes.
Okay.
He was there as a vice president. Between a minister and a vice president, who is superior in terms of the rank? So Kalonzo Musyoka is very clean.
What do you think
He has
about,
no scandal in this country. Have you heard his name where he has a scandal?
what do you think about other opposition figures within the country who, because they're coming up together? There's Eugene Wamalwa, there's Rigathi Gachagua, Fred Matiang'i. They want to become president.
One, these people, these leaders, they are like-minded. They have got one philosophy.
So even if Eugene Wamalwa takes over, it is okay.
They are like-minded. They will sit down with us as a party. That's the Wiper Party. We are going to confront our party leader, Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, to go for the presidency. Once we confront him, if he has those like-minded friends, they are going to form a coalition. Because in politics, coalition is very important. Because coalition, demographically, you'll have to get votes. Because if Kalonzo Musyoka is from Ukambani, we know all the Ukambani votes will be in. If he has like-minded friends like Rigathi Gachagua, to get Mount Kenya votes will be in. If he has like-minded friends like Eugene Wamalwa, western part of Western will be in. If he has like-minded friends like Fred Matiang'i, Kisii will be in. If you add those votes, we are plus 50, plus 1%. Well, see, we are president already.
We're talking about like-minded, just before I come to you.
Yes.
You talked about these opposition figures, because honestly, Kenyans feel that some of these leaders have been recycled. These are people who have been in government. You talk about Rigathi Gachagua. He was a deputy president in the government.
Yes.
Rigathi Gachagua, during his time, there's a lot of police brutality that was seen under his watch. And people have given examples of the time that he used to wake up very early in the morning. And then just to ensure that the protesters, and during that time it was Raila Odinga protesting. And of course, they're saying that, no, it can't be Rigathi Gachagua. If you say that by colluding, or rather in a coalition of Kalonzo Musyoka, which you've said is a Caesar's wife, and Rigathi Gachagua, who has been tested, and some people have an opinion against him, don't you think then this will see us go back to a regime? People believe that we could see another regime whereby we could see another police brutality in a coalition with Fred Matiang'i, who was a former CS Interior, and there's a lot of allegations also during his time, and of course a former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. What do you make? What makes this coalition different?
You know what happens, Kwach? These coalitions, when you make a coalition based on some people or the leaders that agree as per your agenda or the philosophy of the campaign. That's the first thing that you have to make. Number two, look at what this person will bring on the table.
So what is the philosophy of the opposition?
There are people, they are kingpins of per region. In Nyanza, we have a kingpin. In Nairobi, there's a kingpin. In Eastern, there's a kingpin. In Central, there's a kingpin. If you bring all these kingpins together, that is when you can be in a position to say that if I add this and this and this and this and this, I can be in a position to get this and this. Number two, this politics, it changes daily. A minute in politics is like a day. You can find that the dynamics of this politics will change. You've heard Raila Odinga is saying that comes August, is going to start going all around the country for public participation, so that people can also advise him on what he can do. What if all people in Kenya advise him to join Kalonzo Musyoka? We'll be having a different conversation here, because automatically that's what he will do. If his advice, go and join Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, that's what he will do. So we are still looking for like-minded friends.
Umoja, my question as we come to the end of this show is quite simple.
Yes.
These people that are colluding, yes, you've said that they are colluding because they come from different parts of this country.
And they have one philosophy.
And you said about...
And they have one philosophy.
What is their philosophy?
Their philosophy, they always quote it all the time.
What is the philosophy?
One term. Arambe, one term.
So let me ask you,
Yes?
do you mean that... Do you mean that one term can be the only reason why Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua and Fred Matiang'i should be in power? What is the agenda of the opposition?
For you to say one term, it means that a lot of things are happening in this country.
So what does the opposition want to do when they get to power?
The first thing, we drop the university funding model so that it can be uniform to all people. Whether you are from whether you are from a poor family, whether you are from humble family, whether you are from which family, the funding model will be uniform.
On police brutality?
That is the first one.
Are they assured that Rigathi Gachagua, Fred Matiang'i will not do something
But if Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka takes the presidency, he will be CIC, Commander-in-Chief. He's the one to control.
What if they decide to support Rigathi Gachagua or Fred Matiang'i?
They cannot.
What if?
They will not.
Oh, wow, what interesting. Let me come to you, Sam. A lot of atrocities under the President William Ruto. President William Ruto promised that, you see, Kenyans, when I get to power, things will change. It is the better bottom-up economic transformation agenda. People are feeling, no, this is not what we actually asked for. We could talk about this being political, this being tribal, but the real issue is that many Kenyans are facing it so hard. That is the true, that is the reality of things. What is the government not doing from where you sit as an ardent supporter of the initiatives of the government?
First, sorry, I'm not a supporter of the government. I'm not a supporter of an individual. I'm a supporter of an ideology, which I think is in interest or is harmonizing with what the people in the country want. That is number one. Number two, people are saying that you promised that you will deliver this and you have not delivered. And you would agree with me that if you tell me that you are going to send me money on 10th Wednesday, I can only term it as a lie past midnight of that Wednesday, right? If the president said that I'm going to deliver this thing, he has just worked for 2.5 years. How can it be termed as a lie? It can only be termed as a lie by the end of the tenure, right? That is when it can be termed as a lie. Because all these things cannot be implemented at the same time. Implementations requires a lot of things. There's interdict, there's ratification, there's court order, and so on and so on. And the due processes must be followed. Before I forget, my brothers talked about opposition talking of, you have asked him of the manifesto or the philosophy of the opposition. And the philosophy is one term. And it is very interesting that how is making the current president one term bringing changes to the life of a particular Kenyan, right? Currently, okay, maybe I'm broke or my financial strength is very low. Come 2027, I've voted, and the person has gone out. I'm back to my house. What's next? There are many people, there are many voters who are older than us who have voted for the past 35 years, and they can attest that up to today, they have not gotten the change they want. Why is that? Each and every election, people say we want change. You vote this person out, you bring another person in. You vote this person out, you bring this person in. For the past 35 to 40 years, they have not gotten the change. Why is that is happening? Making someone one term, personally, and I will say we, because I'm talking on behalf of the people who think like me. We don't care who is going to be the president past 2027. We are ready to work with any person, as long as that person is pushing the interest of the nation first. Yeah, because we as youths, and so of late, this issue of one term, two term, one term, two term is all about our person. Yeah, now that my person is not there, this guy is one term. My person is there, this person is two term. So it is all about personal interest. My person is there, my person is not there. That's why even my brother here is insisting that his party leader must be the sixth, because that is his person, right? It means that even if there is somebody who is having a good manifesto, somebody who is having something tangible, is not going to be elected based on the fact that is not our person. That is the biggest challenge which we are, or the biggest crime we are committing, electorate crime we are committing as Kenyans, right? And right now, even if you do your research or survey, just ask somebody, in a nutshell, what should the government do so that you can feel the life is as comfortable as you want it? You will find that many people will really meander around. Nobody will give you a strong, simple answer. What is it that the government should do? Leave alone all these things, funding model. There are many people in this country who have never gone to the university. So to an extent that if you are talking of funding model, they just stare at you, they say, what are you saying? We have never been to the university. We are just from four dropouts.
But it affects them somehow, because they have siblings who are at the university.
Aren't their daughters will one day be there?
Yes.
Or their sons?
That is true.
Yes.
That is to some extent. It affects them, but to some extent. But majorly, it doesn't not. Because me, if I never gone to the university, or maybe if there's we around here, we are youths who are hustling out, 1, 2, 3, and you are telling us that we don't like this government because of the funding model. They will wonder, what are you telling us? The deliveries of the government cannot be enjoyed by everybody.
So you've mentioned that we need to give President Ruto 5 years complete for us to say one term or to judge him.
Yeah.
But there are promises that he made. He said that when I put the Bible down,
Yes.
is the Bible still hanging? That is the question that many Kenyans are asking.
Yes.
Many Kenyans are asking that President Ruto said the gas will be this.
Yes.
When this happens.
Yes.
And there are times that he gave deadlines.
Yes.
And they're saying
Yes.
that he said this will happen.
Yes.
It has not happened.
Yes.
It means
Yes.
the president is a liar.
Yeah.
Did President Ruto overpromise?
Yeah. He did not overpromise. And based on my previous statement, practicality of power is far much different from the what we promise on paper. You said, I'm going to do this. And when you get to the office, you find that it is a hill. And secondly, this issue of a lie, just ask any person, mention that one specific lie. You will find that there's no one who is going to say this.
Okay.
He is going to term it that he has lied. But how can someone lie yet he has just ruled for a half of the term?
Yes.
What if we say that he has lied, he has not delivered this, and he delivers next year? Will you be changing your statement?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
100 days?
Okay. I want us to come to the, we've come to the end of this conversation, and particularly, I'd want us to maybe just give opinions as parting shots for an issue also that is of concern to, and should be of concern to every Kenyan, because we expect transitions every 5 years, after every 5 year term of the president. But recently there's another conversation that we've had, and Martha Karua says that, and actually claims that President Ruto has orchestrated chaos during the Sabasaba protest. With the, of course, she gives examples of CBD closure as evidence to justify a state of emergency and possibly delay of the 2027 elections. And as Moses Kuria says and hints with his no elections comment. So maybe let me ask that from where you sit, is election postponement actually a conversation we should have and even expect? And how will Kenyans react? Particularly for you who says Kalonzo the 6th, and then maybe we'll have to wait for Kalonzo to be president in 2032 because there's postponement of elections.
I don't see the urge of postponing the elections.
No, like it is just a conversation. Comments from Martha Karua says, Moses Kuria comments. What do you believe? Is it something that it's possible?
It is not possible. And this possibility, we also work with the Constitution. We have 6 elective positions. We have the president, we have the governor,
Yes.
we have the senator,
Yeah.
we have the women rep, we have the MP, and we have the MCA.
Yes.
The day they are sworn in, they're supposed to be in leadership or
Yes.
in office for 5 good years.
Good years.
Unless there's a by-election or unless there's an impeachment and so on and so forth.
Yes.
So with us, we are acting on the time they were sworn in. That was 2022. Next election should happen in 2027, August, the 2nd Tuesday of August.
What if there is a state of emergency?
We'll cross the bridge when we are there, because we have a legal team that can help us dissect that.
Mister?
Yes. On the issue quoted about election postponement, many people misquoted the Moses Kuria statement. Yeah. Election not being there in 2027, he hinted something. Yeah. Not that there will be no a physical election. He really meant that the winner has already been declared. Yeah. That is what he meant. He never meant that elections are not going to be there. So that is the part which Kenyans don't understand. Then,
But by saying
Is it,
that the
is, it,
winners...
is it good to declare the winner and you are not the
Okay.
IBC
The
chair?
Okay,
The
just
IBC is not
just
in place is when they were taking oath the other
a
day.
very critical point, by the way. You are saying, is it good? What Moses Kuria said and what he's saying, there's no difference, because he said in 2027 he's sure Kalonzo Musyoka is going to be the president. Yeah, that is the same statement with the Moses Kuria one, because Moses Kuria also knows.
As another opinion.
Moses Kuria also knows someone who is going to be. He also knows someone is going to be. So they are reading from the same page. Then number 2, generally to close, I can attest that we are doing well as a country in terms of economy. It's only that it cannot be seen by many people. Because previously, he gave an example of, just to be brief, he gave an example of Unga was being a certain...
The economy is doing very wonderfully.
It's doing wonderful. And here's the data. He talked about Unga being a certain price during and so on and so on and so on. We cannot compare 2 economies with different budget deficits and different budgets, right? You see the previous administration, you find that maybe Unga was 100 during the beginning of the term, and towards the end, it shot up. You all witness when the end of Uhuru was coming to the term Uhuru was coming on, everything shot up because of why? There was lack of substantial solution to the cost of living. Because the previous regime, the mistake which they did, which has been corrected in this regime, is one. The previous regime used to subsidize consumption. And subsidizing consumption is very, very expensive. It reaches a point that the government can no longer sustain it. So when the current regime came over, they came with the subsidy of the production. And subsidy of production is something which is very, very, very sustainable, right? And that's why now you find that if you are comparing the price that was there before and the price which is there, right, there's a difference. And what many people does not know is that the cost of living and economy, or rather the prices of goods in an economy and the economic growth, are directly proportional. Life is tough where economy is good, and life is very easy where economy is not doing good. And that's why if you have lived in Nairobi and Kampala, Kenya is having the biggest economy in Eastern Africa, right? You find that life in Kampala is very cheap as compared to life in Nairobi, yet we have the largest economy. So people doesn't understand that. The gooder the economy, or the better the economy, the harder the life. That's why even you personally know Kenyans who are millionaires who live in the US, but they can't live in New York. Why? because life in that city is not even bearable to them, because the strength of that economy toughens
Okay.
the life. So
Okay.
there is a principle there which many Kenyans are still not understanding. So they misquote it.
So Kenyans should actually enjoy.
Yes, definitely. You cannot appreciate your country if you have never been to a foreign country. You cannot.
Wow.
That's why you find that,
Yes.
just a second, that's why you find that there are many investors who are streaming into our nation.
Yes.
And they are leaving their nation because the tax system, our tax system is favorable.
Yes.
But they are seeing them because they are in another country. But with us, we cannot see them because we are here. So unless we also explore and
Yes.
look at how other countries are doing things, that is when we will appreciate that we are actually doing well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But so many people believe, you believe that President Ruto is doing well.
Definitely.
And you say that the economy is doing very wonderfully.
Definitely.
But people believe that President Ruto is a dictator.
Yes.
And even from the words that you've mentioned, that Moses Kuria has already known
Yes.
who is going to win.
Yes.
It is like a declaration of who is to be the president already.
Yes.
And we know he supports William Ruto.
Yes.
William Ruto says that if there is no country for William Ruto, then there is no country for you. There is no country for me.
Yes.
Is this a statement of war? Is this what is in the mind of President William Ruto?
It is a statement of war for against the impunity. President, people are believing that is a dictator. Many people does not understand how power is being done. That is the biggest problem we have as a country, how power is being executed. You know, as the head of a nation or an institution or anywhere, you must ensure that everything is within your control, right? No one should be veering off from your line of operation of power. And that's why, practically, a leader must do anything possible to safeguard his or her position of power, even if it means doing something that might seem ruthless or distasteful, right? Just to maintain that power, because a country cannot be led on a softness, never yet. So this practicality of power is what most of us tend to fail to understand. People usually say that this leader has lied to us, right?
But
you remember,
if people do not want President Ruto, then he must go.
yeah, it's okay. Going is okay, that is no problem. But how is going of the president going to change your personal life? Remember, there's no way we are going to solve the problem of the country before solving our personal problem. No way. On the street, the youths are really crying. The youths are frustrated.
Okay.
Pocket-wise.
Let me give you a chance also to maybe comment on what President says. The President Ruto says if there's no country for you, and this I think is for those who are protesting and saying that one term, those who think that the president should actually leave the office as soon as yesterday. So he says that if there's no country for you, if there's no country for Ruto, there's no country for you. Are people reading too much into this statement? Or people are right to think that there is an ulterior message, an ulterior motive behind this message that the president is talking about?
That information, it has got an intrinsic motive behind it. And one, you see, with all this intrinsic information that are surrounding it, solution is one. And also tell you that even if you are saying that the country cannot be guided on softness, you have to be ruthless for a country to grow. They were not ruthless when they were campaigning in 2022. Were you ruthless?
No.
And why are you ruthless now? The people that voted you in. This country, we'll just go to the chapter 1 of the Constitution. The sovereignty of the country, it belongs to the people.
Yes.
The ID of those people and the voters card of those people who are on the streets, that you are ruthless on them. They will also give the same energy of being ruthless with you on the ballot 2022. And I would urge the Gen Zs and also any person, the patriotic citizen of this country, who knows where the country is skewed towards. We should have a very staunch MP, very staunch senator, so that they cannot be in a position to be voted in the National Assembly. These are the lawmakers. The legislation is a very important organ. Because an MP akikata, if an MP refuses to do something or pass something, the president cannot accent anything on that. So be ruthless. There's no problem. The country is ruthless. But the same energy that you're putting on them, you don't want to engage them, is the same energy they are going to put Moi Primary School polling station, Nyangoma Primary School polling station, Kiriaini polling station, and also Kitui polling station, Mandera polling station, Mahal polling station. If you had all these polling stations where they are going to give you back the energy of the ruthless focus, at the long run, Kalonzo will be in the office.
So is it 1 term or 2 term?
As for me, it is 2 term. Not because the current president is my person. No. It's not my person. We come from different places. Because I only feel that his policies is harmonizing with what I want and what we want, me and the people who think like me.
So is it 1 term or 2 term?
1 term. I check on the report form. In each, by the end of the term, we have a report form and we take. If you scored 0 in maths, 8 in chemistry, and you've also scored 0 in Kiswahili, you are told to repeat.
So it is 1. So he's supposed to repeat because his report card is not.
So you judge the report card based on the performance.
So if it is 0, you
and
repeat.
Right now they have done midterm exam.
If the report card is 0, you repeat.
You repeat that class.
So he's supposed to repeat.
You repeat that class. You repeat that class, but you cannot go to the next class. The person who will go to the next class is Kalonzo Musyoka. And with him, he will repeat to counter-check some of the wrongs that he did.
Quite interesting.
Maybe for next time.
Quite interesting. There's a lot of questions. It's a candid conversation that we're actually having here with these 2 gentlemen. And because the philosophy of 1 term, the philosophy of 2 term, I wonder whether these can really make political ideologies. Because maybe someone will question that after a 1 term and then someone else enters the presidency without a solid philosophy, in no time will the people also chant 1 term or the same person? I think that is a question that maybe we would look into some other time. But because of time, thank you so much, Umoja, for joining this conversation. Umoja is a youth leader for the Wiper party, and of course a staunch supporter of the senior counsel Kalonzo Musyoka to become the 6th president of Kenya. And of course we also have with us a TikTok sensation, a man with quite a considerable number of followers and influence in TikTok, but as politics. And of course that is Juma. What is the TikTok name?
Dazavin the First.
Dazavin the First. What is Dazavin the First?
Dazavin is not me. The first is, this is the first Dazavin ever existed in my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of Dazavin?
Dazavin, according to, there was an activist in my society called Dazavin. So these people named me after him. Wow. Because I started doing something he did.
So Vincent Juma is called Dazavin the First. You can follow him on TikTok. And thank you so much for joining this conversation. Indeed, it's a candid conversation where we get to delve deeply into critical issues that are affecting you, our viewer, be it on current affairs, politics, governance, economy, and all other issues that are affecting you. We have it there on the power table. As you get to bring all opinion shapers, we got to bring all politicians and thought leaders and opinion leaders into this conversation and the table. Thank you so much. My name is Eugene Kwach. Till next time.